Do Not Stand at My Grave and Weep by Mary Elizabeth Frye. Do Not Stand at My Grave and Weep is a well known poem usually recited at funerals, and it was written by Mary Elizabeth Frye. This is a funeral song. This extremely famous poem has been read at countless funerals and public occasions. Grief is the abstract idea of this poem, but it is not publicly shown in the poem. This poem has been recited many times at funerals and is noted as death poem that brings sense of solace to mourners. It gives a comforting view of death. So now let's get an introduction about the poet. Mary Elizabeth Frye was born in November 13, 1905 in Dayton, Ohio. She lost her parents at the age of 3. She spent her entire life as a florist and housewife. Although she is now named among some of the most famous American poets, she never earned a dime for her poetry, and it is this solitary poem which gave her a name among the most renowned American poets. Mary claimed that if she took money for her poem, it would lose its value. She also never sought copyright for the poem, claiming that although she penned the words, the poem was not hers. She claimed that it belonged to the world. As she said, her poem can be found on the sympathy cards, engraved on headstones, obituaries. It is even read aloud at funerals and memorial services. Mary's willingness to share her poetry with the world with no profit to herself also resulted in her becoming one of the most beloved poets of all time. She even continued writing poetry, but none of them gained as much as fame as this particular poem. So that's all about the poet. Now let's get into the chapter. Do not stand at my grave and weep. I am not there. I do not sleep. I am 1,000 winds that blow. I am the diamond glints on snow. I am the sun on ripened grain. I am the gentle autumn rain. When you awaken in the morning's hush, I am the swift uplifting rush of quiet birds in circled flight. I am the soft star that shines at night. Do not stand at my grave and cry, I am not there, I did not die. In this touching poem, the poet speaks of death in a welcoming tone. The poet begins her poem with a command, not a request. She commands her mourners not to weep. Here in the poem, the speaker is a dead person. The first line of the poem itself reveals that this is the voice of a dead person. The beginning line itself defines the meaning of the poem. The speaker is someone who passed away, leaving her loved one a message. She asks her mourners not to weep for her. I am not there, I do not sleep. This particular line means that although she has been buried, she says that she does not live there any longer. Here, the poet clearly and empathetically claims that she is not there in the ground, but she is still alive. She is still alive in the memories of her loved ones. The speaker is died and buried in the ground, but she is not willing to rest under the grave. I am 1,000 winds that blow. I am the diamond glints on snow. I am the sun on ripened grain. I am the gentle autumn rain. When you awaken in the morning's hush, I am the swift uplifting rush of quiet birds in circled flight. Here, in these particular lines, the poet softens to a tone of comfort and peace. Here, the speaker does not use any kind of authoritative or commanding voice. These lines serve to offer comfort and reassurance to the reader. Here the speaker assumes one who are mourning for her. She then commands to them not to weep for her. Then she explains where they can find her. The speaker promises her mourners to be with them in winds that blow, in the diamond glints on snow. She proclaims that they will be able to feel her in the sunlight and in rain. These are the words of comfort to those who are mourning, because the speaker claimed that she does not sleep in the grave, but she is still present in the natural elements. It helped the readers or the mourners to feel her presence, even if it is not a physically bodily presence. So the speaker is saying that she is not gone anywhere, she is still within them. She even suggests some of the elements where they could feel her or find her. I am the soft star that shines at night. Do not stand at my grave and cry, I am not there. I did not die. So, in the last concluding lines, the speaker again follows a commanding tone, leaving behind her tone of comfort. She again commands her loved ones not to cry for her. She reiterates or repeats to her mourners not to stand and cry. She again says that her body may be buried there, but her soul is not confined on grave. She already described all the places in which her soul can be found. Her soul can be found in the sounds of circling of birds, in the silence of the morning, in the glistening snow, in the winds, in the sun, and in the rain. She again claims that she is there existing in all the beautiful elements of nature rather than resting in her grave. The final lines of the poem gives a comfort to the mourners or the readers. In the concluding part, the speaker reminds her loved ones that she is not really gone and asks them not to mourn over her absence. Her body will be there on the earth, but her spirit is still happy and at peace. She believes that her words will bring comfort and solace to the lives of her dear and near ones. The poem is a simple monologue between spirit of a dead person and their loved one. It provides a sense of relief to the spirit as well as her loved one. In the poem, the poet uses numerous metaphors to bring relief to the readers. Metaphors is used to express that she is still alive in surrounding even she is dead. Various aspects of nature symbolizes freedom, happiness and comfort. She tells her loved ones that they can think of her when they see the snow, sun and rain. The poet even uses many imageries to bring out more feelings of hope and intense emotions. While reading, the readers can visualize graceful birds flying in circles and stars lighting up a dark sky. The poet even repeated certain lines, which is to emphasize on the message that the speaker did not die, and the usage of these statements helped the speaker to provide comfort to her loved ones. The poem is in a tone of warmth and magnificence. Readers can find hopefulness and warmth in poet's tone. The last line of the poem gives hope and peace to the people whom the speaker left behind. The theme of the poem is about someone's death. The speaker is the person who has died, and the poem is written from the speaker's point of view. People are often shattered and depressed when their loved ones die. This poem is written to comfort such people, telling that their deceased person is still with them even after their death. It is a powerful poem for people who are dealing with grief. It provides a sense of satisfaction and consolation. So now, let me tell you the story behind this poem. Mary Frye wrote this poem in 1932. It was wrote specifically for a young German Jewish girl named Magaret Schwarzkopf. She lived with Frye and she was unable to meet her mother who was ill in Germany. Later, Margaret's mother died in Germany. Still, she was unable to meet her mother when she knew that she has died. The girl was totally depressed because she can't even talk to her mother before she died. Her depression touched Frye's mind. So Mary Frye wrote this poem from the point of view of the girl's mother in order to give hope and comfort to that young girl who had suffered so much. The effect of the poem was monumental. It resonated with every reader who had ever lost a loved one. Thus, Frye became famous through this one small poem written with the intention of comforting a young girl to overcome her grief. This poem not only offered comfort to that young girl for whom it was written, but also to millions of readers across the world. So that's all about the poem, poet, and the story behind the poem. I hope this video would be helpful for you. Thank you.